Let's look at this wild creature over here. His name is Ayanokoji_balls. Let's see what he wrote. E.g. Please help me become Sigma like Ayanokoji. How do I become puppet master so I can stop getting bullied by my stench? That's an interesting question. As I love my subscribers, I can't let you guys down. So welcome back, and in today's video, I'll show you guys how to become a puppet master of any situation like Ayanokoji Kiyotaka. Well, to begin, what do I even mean by puppet master of any scenario? Well, let's see what Ayanokoji_balls meant by his question. So he says, I think it means that you become Sigma like Ayanokoji and then you can control and manipulate girls like K, so then you can inappropriately touch them. Okay, not quite, but let me explain. By becoming the puppet master of any scenario, I mean that people, or let's say the situation, is always going to be steered to the result you want. Although I do not mean what Ayanokoji_balls said, this is actually a real and important ability to have. For example, we'll see this in real life with cunning people like Putin. Let's look at this scenario. Let me give you an actual scenario where this happens. So, Putin gets interviewed by Tucker Carlson, and although a lot of you probably don't know about this, it was a pretty big deal. It has over 200 million views. So, the way that Putin actually handles the situation is key. So going into this interview, Putin was depicted by the media as obviously the monster who's killing Ukraine, and the man with no emotions. Not only that, but people wanted his opinion on Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. So as a puppet master of the largest country in the world, how does he handle it? Perfectly, just like a puppet master. Let me show you guys. So one, although I'm not going to show the whole interview, but let me give you guys how he handled it. So one, although he speaks perfect English, he chose to speak Russian. Why? One, there's a lot of benefits to this. First, he gets a lot of time to think of his answer. Two, all the stupid people who don't want to wait for his answer are just gonna leave. Two, although most people want Putin to save America and tell the truths which would ignite nationalism and sensibility in the West, since this interview got announced, everyone believed that Putin would be condemning the West for its degeneracy, but he actually didn't say anything. But think about it, why would Putin want to fix any of America's issues? He did the opposite but praised America because he wants them to be weaker. And when he was asked who would he rather have as president, Trump or Biden, he said Biden. And if you think about it on a full scale, it was because Biden is a weaker, more stupider president. So there's so much more that he did, but come on, the viewer retention is down bad, so let me just actually teach you guys how to do this. But I'll sum it up with this quote: never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. Napoleon Bonaparte. So, how do we actually become the puppet master? First, you need to be able to read everything. The room, people, etc. So for body language reading, I'll put a card on my 20-minute plus lecture on everything you need to know about body language above. Secondly, so how do we learn all this? 1. For the basics of manipulation, read 48 Laws of Power. For human nature, read the Laws of Human Nature, both made by Robert Greene. And for persuasion, read the Art of Persuasion, Winning Without Intimidation. And then also, learn tonalities from Grant Cardone, which I'll leave all the links to in the description below. So all you have to do is click, learn, move to the next step. So step 1 is to pause the video, finish all those materials, and come back to this video, as if you don't have the prerequisite knowledge, there's no point of continuing. So step 2, as you know, you have to become a puppet master, so it's going to get a little bit unethical, as it's the only way to actually become the puppet master, and we all know that Ayanokoji does not care about morals. So the first thing you need to know are these basic manipulation tactics. So let's go with number 1, gaslighting and reality manipulation. So gaslighting is where you make someone question their reality. This can be done by denying their experiences, trivializing their feelings, or twisting facts. It's a way to gain psychological superiority and control, and is very common in real life. Number 2, exploiting personal stories and habits. If you discover a personal story or habit that is a source of insecurity for your target, use it strategically. Bring it up in conversations or in social settings to put them off balance, making them more susceptible to your influence and basically pulling the strings. Puppet master. The number 3, playing on basic emotions, fear and love. Understand that manipulation often hinges on the basic emotions of fear and love. Identify what your target fears and loves, and use the information to create situations where these emotions are heightened, and this can lead to increased dependency on you for emotional support and guidance. Number 4. The power of the contrarian analysis. People often display behaviors that mask their true feelings or insecurities by playing a mask, and it's basically like the opposite. So for example, Kushida, she's really nice, but we all know inside she's like the most like corrupt person in like the class of the elite. While on the other hand, someone who's like really rude or really mean can be like the nicest person. So like basically keep that in mind, because that's really like more common than people actually like showing their true colors. And then lastly, you just need to know about the art of subtle exploitation. Your manipulation should be subtle and discreet. Don't try to act around like you're a Sigma Ayanokoji. If the target realizes your intent, they may become defensive or retaliate. The key, without a trace of your influence. So now that you know how to read anything in the basics of manipulation, now let's go to practical steps. Now let's get into step 3. So you've loaded up on your theoretical ammo. Books and videos are great, but they're like learning to swim on dry land. It's time to jump onto the water. So what I want you guys to do is practice observation. Start with people watching. Hit up a busy public spot, and your mission, observe. Watch how people interact, how they react to stress, joy, and frustration. Look for non-verbal cues like I mentioned in my lecture, and shifts in tones and the group dynamics. This is your lab, and every interaction is an experiment. And I mentioned this in many videos before, but for this puppet master scenario, this is highly important, and if you want to become the puppet master, you need to do this. Next is engage and experiment. Next up, start engaging. Small, harmless experiments are your best friends here. Try different approaches and conversations. Be more assertive one day and then more passive on the next. See how people react when you mirror their body language or when you deliberately avoid doing so. It's all about the subtle tweaks to your approach to gauge different responses. And then lastly, just have a journal or a log on your phone. After every significant interaction or experiment, jot down what happened, what worked, what flopped. It's basically like you're a white room instructor, like pretty much just taking all the feedbacks and just readjusting. So now, that's all I'm going to disclose for today. I actually have more for this, but the next step is about how to hide your strength, which I'll make a video on if this video gets 150 likes and 150 comments. So drop down a couple of W's on the comments and like the video, especially for your boys like Ayanokoji balls. Also, if you want to become the best version of yourself and live to your full potential and want to join the best fucking program in the world, join the 1-year White Room program, as we're about to run one of our biggest special exams yet, and it's gonna be like a Tomodachi game. There's a cash reward, and some guy might be getting exiled from the group. So link in the description below, and thanks for watching, and peace on the street.